equivalent of a black hole. It is a concept so psychologically disruptive, so existentially dark, that it explains not only the quiet despair of your dating life, but the very engine of human suffering itself. Within the next minutes, we will dismantle the foundational lie you've been told about desire. A lie that has left you chasing phantoms and hollowed out by relationships doomed before they even began. By the end, you will possess a key, a forbidden lens to see desire's hidden wiring. The central claim of this discourse is devastating. You have never been loved for who you are. Your identity, virtues, flaws, hobbies, and accomplishments are not the object of desire. At best, they are a screen upon which a deeper, ancient drama is projected, shaping every relationship. This is the heart of Lacan's theory of the object petit, the object cause of desire. The A stands for another, but not the societal big other. It is the little other, the elusive thing mistaken for a tangible goal, but in reality, a void. The unattainable essence we believe will complete us once acquired. For men, this often manifests as a quest for status, power, or an idealized woman. For women, the pursuit of the object A takes a tragic and relentless character. Her desire is not for you, the man, but for what you lack. To grasp this, we must first descend into the origin of desire itself. Lacan, building on Freud, posits that desire is born in trauma, not personal but universal. The trauma of birth, of separation from the maternal body, from a state of imagined wholeness. From that moment, we are defined by lack. Our entire psychic life a frantic attempt to fill the primordial void. We are like a cup with a hole drilled in the bottom, forever pouring in water, forever wondering why it cannot feel full. This is not simple dissatisfaction. It is the structural condition of being a speaking being, haunted by a lost paradise that never existed, a phantom limb of the soul. Consider the historical phenomenon of 12th century courtly love poets. They dedicated their lives to unattainable noble ladies, composing poems and performing feats of valor. The crucial twist: the lady had to remain utterly unattainable. Desire was for her inaccessibility, not her. The lady became the sublime object, shining with impossible light precisely because she was forbidden. The moment the barrier falls, the sublime object becomes ordinary. This is the first law of desire. It is directed not towards the object, but the fantasy that the object will fill our lack. Now transpose this to a modern dating app. A man sees a woman's profile, beautiful, smiling on a mountaintop. He swipes right, sends a witty message, believing his desire is for her. Lon would say no. His desire is for the fantasy she represents, a life without lack, without loneliness. She is not a person. She is a potential plug for the hole in his being. No human can ever fill that void. The relationship is born under a death sentence, destined to fail the moment fantasy collides with the reality of her humanity, her flaws, and her own gaping lack. To understand the female pursuit of the object A, we must explore what Lacan called the not-all. Woman is not whole in the phallic function, not incomplete, not inferior, but fundamentally different. Her desire lies partly outside the phallic order, in a mysterious supplemental jouissance beyond the law. Her desire is linked to the other jouissance, a bliss beyond the phallus. The object A for woman is the man's own lack. She does not desire a complete man. Such a man is boring. She desires a man who embodies a lack she can fill, a man with a mystery, a drive, a cause beyond her, offering her a role in his fantasy. During the rise of the Third Reich, the regime weaponized this principle. Propaganda offered a mythical wholeness, a 1,000-year Reich, with men as vessels for national lack and women as supplements, bearers of future heroes. Desire became political, showing how female desire can be exploited on a mass scale. Now imagine two men. Mark, a good, reliable, emotionally available man centering his life on his girlfriend. By telling her she completes him, he places the unbearable burden of his lack on her. No void remains for her to project fantasy. He is a finished product, psychically undesirable. Alexander, in contrast, is driven by a cause: art, business, fitness, intellectual pursuit. He is defined by his lack, by the gap between what he is and what he strives to become. His girlfriend is part of a universe with a center elsewhere. She is drawn to the fantasy of filling the void his drive creates. The joy a woman feels is not from possessing a complete man, but from participating in the fantasy of completing an incomplete one. When a man appears truly complete, desire collapses. This is the cruel irony Lon exposes. Female desire is anchored not in your presence, provision, or perfection, but in your absence. Knowing this mechanism explains suffering, but does not free you. The world is a factory exploiting your lack and hers, profiting from dissatisfaction. We must expose 3 societal traps: the beta provider, therapeutic validation, and the maternal fantasy. Each keeps men trapped, chasing phantoms, and women perpetually unfulfilled. The beta provider is symbolically castrated, not physically but psychically. He becomes a seamless, reliable, non-threatening servant, his desires pre-packaged. He presents as a finished product with no void for a woman to fill. A woman may choose him for security, but she cannot desire him in the Lacanian sense. The second trap is therapeutic validation, teaching men to externalize their lack as a wound. Men are encouraged to process trauma and manage triggers, framing their void as a problem to be solved. This kills desire, reversing the natural dynamic. Women become caregivers, not participants in fantasy. The third and deepest trap is the unconscious desire for the mother. Every man carries the psychic scar of a time when need was instantly met. Seeking this in a lover is impossible and oppressive. Early relationship stages feel maternal and joyful, but reality inevitably exposes the woman's own lack, turning love into resentment. The path forward is not to find the right woman or heal your lack. It is to fully assume your lack. Liberation comes from embracing it as the source of power and freedom. Desire is not a problem to solve, but a force to channel. Life should be oriented around a compelling cause, not completion in another person. When your life centers on a cause, art, business, mastery, your lack becomes fuel. You present yourself as a work in progress, a man defined by trajectory, not destination. You are an arrow in flight, not a trophy. This magnetic state invites women to be companions, not mothers, transforming desire into shared adventure. By embracing your lack, you shatter the beta provider model, reject therapeutic validation, and escape the maternal fantasy. You become the subject of action, not the object of care. Your existential lack becomes the foundation of sovereignty. The cage door was never locked from the outside. The key was inside. Your acceptance of incompleteness. The woman, placed on a pedestal as your maternal savior, inevitably fails. You see a failed goddess, not a human being. You either stay, trapped in quiet blame, or leave to seek the next woman who briefly plays the mother role. Repetition becomes the hell of desire. It's not the women, but the impossible expectations placed upon them. The path forward is not healing your lack or finding the right woman. It is fully assuming your lack. Liberation comes from embracing it as the source of power and freedom. Desire is not a problem to solve, but a force to channel. Life should be oriented around a compelling cause, not completion in another person. When life centers on a cause, art, business, mastery, your lack becomes fuel. You present as a work in progress, a man defined by trajectory, not destination. You're an arrow in flight, not a trophy. This invites women to be companions, not mothers, transforming desire into shared adventure rather than dependency. This state shatters the beta provider model because you are defined by cause, not compliance. It rejects therapeutic validation because your lack is propulsion, not pathology. It obliterates the maternal fantasy. You are not seeking a mother, but a fellow warrior, a participant in a grand, meaningful struggle. You cease being the object of her care and become the subject of your own action. Your existential lack becomes the foundation of your sovereignty. The cage door was never locked from the outside. The lock was inside, and the key is your acceptance of the beautiful, terrible, liberating truth. You are incomplete. Your incompleteness is not a flaw, it is the engine of desire. The drive that pushes you toward mastery, creation, and adventure is rooted in the very void that society has taught you to fear. Recognizing this transforms lack from a source of shame into the fuel for a compelling magnetic life. A man oriented around a cause stops presenting himself as a finished product seeking validation. He offers a dynamic void, a mystery, a journey in motion. This is magnetic to the feminine unconscious. She is drawn not to completion, but to the chance to supplement his trajectory, to participate in the unfolding of his life. In this state, relationships change profoundly. The woman is no longer tasked with completing him. She becomes a participant in his mission, a witness to his struggle, a companion in pursuit. Her desire operates freely because it interacts with a man whose psychic structure is alive, expansive, and oriented outward. This is the virtuous cycle of desire. Male lack, channeled into a meaningful purpose, becomes the canvas for female fantasy. The cycle transforms desire from a source of suffering into a mutually reinforcing dynamic of purpose, engagement, and psychic resonance. Love becomes an adventure, not a prison. This knowledge, once understood, forces a confrontation with societal mechanisms designed to exploit male lack. Modern culture offers subtle traps. The engineered beta provider, the seductive doctrine of therapeutic validation, and the maternal fantasy. Each undermines the natural architecture of desire, keeping men ensnared. The beta provider is not just compliant or safe. He is psychically castrated, pre-packaged to fit societal expectations. Stability, reliability, routine. All these qualities are praised, but they eliminate the void necessary for desire. A woman may respect him, but she cannot desire him in the Lacanian sense. Therapeutic culture amplifies this effect. You are enough, heal your inner child. On the surface, compassion. In practice, it encourages men to present lack as a wound needing repair. Desire dies when women are asked to mother rather than witness a man's externalized drive. Void becomes pathology, not attraction. Finally, the unconscious maternal fantasy exerts the deepest prison. Men seek a return to the primal state of instantaneous fulfillment, asking women to replace the maternal source. The relationship begins with nurturing and intensity, but inevitably collides with reality. Her humanity exposes the impossibility of the fantasy. When the maternal fantasy fails, resentment arises. Women are no longer saviors, but humans with their own lack. The man's expectation collapses, triggering repetition, chasing the next woman to replay the same dynamic. Liberation requires refusing the fantasy and embracing the reality of your own lack as power. Assuming your lack fully, you stop seeking completion externally. You orient your life around a cause beyond validation, beyond dependence on another person. Art, mastery, intellectual pursuit, physical transformation, these become the focus. Desire flows naturally from engagement with the world, not from neediness. Your trajectory becomes the source of your magnetism. Women are drawn not to a finished product, but to a work in motion, a mystery, a man whose lack fuels ambition, creativity, and resilience. Your lack is the engine. Your life becomes the canvas upon which desire paints its patterns. This approach invalidates societal traps. The beta provider model is destroyed because you are defined by purpose, not compliance. Therapeutic validation is rejected because your lack is propulsion, not flaw. The maternal fantasy is rendered irrelevant. You are a warrior seeking a companion, not a mother seeking a child. By embracing your lack, you reclaim sovereignty. Desire becomes an arena for engagement rather than dependency. You stop being a passive object of care and become an active subject in your life. The psychological trap was never external. It was your misunderstanding of your own structure of desire. The transformation is profound. Where before relationships were repetitive prisons of disappointment, they now become spaces for shared adventure. Women are drawn to your trajectory, your gaps, your striving. They participate in your purpose rather than attempting to complete it, creating a dynamic of genuine resonance. This is the ultimate liberation in Lacanian terms, turning lack into power. Desire is no longer a source of suffering, but a force to channel. Life is no longer an exercise in validation, completion, or maternal fulfillment, but a pursuit of compelling purpose, in which the void is a tool, not a liability. Every man can apply this. Identify your central cause, your work, art, craft, mastery. Let it define your trajectory. Present your life as a journey in motion, a mystery in progress. This is magnetic to desire, both in romantic contexts and in the broader social sphere. The void becomes the engine of attraction. Women naturally seek to be the object that supplements your trajectory. They are drawn not to what you have, but to the gap that drives your ambition. Your lack is no longer shameful. It is the locus of relational power. the game of desire reverses. You are no longer the seeker, but the axis around which desire orbits. The cage of societal expectation, therapeutic culture, and maternal fantasy is dismantled internally. The lock was never outside. It was the misunderstanding of your psychic structure. Embrace incompleteness, channel your lack into purpose. Become dynamic. Desire follows structure, not completion. This is the philosophical equivalent of a defibrillator. Jarring, necessary, liberating. Understanding desire as structured around lack allows you to escape societal traps and the cycle of repetitive romantic disappointment. You turn suffering into action, frustration into focus, emptiness into a source of creation. The cage door was never locked from outside. The key is your acceptance of the beautiful, terrible, liberating truth. You are and always will be gloriously, powerfully, and unchangeably incomplete. This is the foundation of your sovereignty, the engine of your desire, and the path to genuine liberation.